that up high. Thanks, Larry.
Here's Larry.
Woo! Larry,
Larry.
Good one.
You just had a graduation. Yeah.
So, but we got this little thing going, so.
That's a good one.
And literally, they brought their donkey with them.
Brown.
Get him away.
He's from our neighborhood.
Get off the street! 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 Fucking asshole!
Get off the street! Get off the street!
You fell already. That's all right.
Come on, everybody off the sidewalk! On the sidewalk! Off the street! Get off the street! Magic, you're not helping us!
When ice comes, are you going to stand
Get off the street!
Get off the street! Get off the street! Get off the street! Get off the street!
Here comes the librarian.
Get off the street!
Bunch of fucking posers! You support people. I'm old. I thought I was 18
The
again.
sheriff, see what they're gonna do.
What's What's that?
Yeah,
You saw what was going on.
I got no idea.
Tell me what happened. You have it on video?
Yes, I had it on video. So basically what happened was the guy actually in the orange bandana, he was pretty calm until the guys in the black came. The guy in the black came.
This is hot.
What'd you say?
This is hot. I got the whole thing. Do you want me to send it to you?
Maybe.
Huh? All right.
Maybe.
Maybe means what?
Can I get the explanation too? What happened?
One of them's at least a Carpinteria, and I don't know the other guy. They agree with us on the issues, but they wanted
Thank you
to
for remaining calm. Thank you
get
for
people
staying
to
on the
block
sidewalk.
traffic.
Thank
And
you for allowing us to continue this really important rally.
But people stayed calm and did not go into the streets and block traffic because that would have been a really bad idea, especially with a bunch of little kids around.
Safety hazard.
Thank you, Carpinterians, for staying calm.
Yeah. Being law-abiding.
Be divided. The people united will never 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 be divided.
Yeah.
Hey, Brad. How are you?
Hey, good policing there.
Hi.
Are you a self-appointed crowd controller?
Well, my name's Carol, and I'm an organizer and leader for Indivisible, and we're all non-confrontational, no civil disobedience. It's a peaceful protest, and there was just some agitators sent here, and there was a couple cheerleaders they had standing on the sidelines. It was really disgusting. Carpinteria is not like that. We've never had this trouble before. This is like the 5th protest we've had. It's really bad.
So who are you with and who's organizing it?
Indivisible Carpinteria. Carpinteria Indivisible.
So who's organizing it? Take two.
Carpinteria Indivisible.
Good job.
And thank you.
These are all Michelle's.
Thank you. What? Yes.
I am proud. I think this is the way to speak up and say our thoughts. We don't approve of what's going on. Hopefully everybody does it peacefully.
All right.
I'm gonna bring the speaker. So I'll be back in like 15 minutes. Sorry.
I like your sign. Oh, look at that. That's fun. Good sign.
Yeah, not many. Not many. You're the first person to split that.
Let's see. Let me get a focus here. This formula will make the costume super resistant to friction now.
No foking way. I love that. No foking. I love it.
Can I see your sign, Bunny? I was told I need to get a shot of your sign.
Oh wait, here you.
Nice.
There it is.
Let me see your sign. All right. Nice. That's a good one.
The best sign of the whole day.
So, what did you say, Fred?
I understand it's raining in D.C. Rain on the Guys parade. I love it.
You know what I'm doing?
Yep, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Gotta love it.
Good signs. Let me see your sign. Good one.
I know.
Oh wait, me too.
I know, me too.
I'm in on this game.
And Linda Cherry does too.
Hi, Larry. You got a lot to do.
You remember Lois? I am Chris. Yes. Is it nice to meet you? Michael. I am Chris.
What is this all about?
Brady's very calm. I'm impressed with her.
Good sign. Nice, nice. I don't remember. I got it 4 years ago. 5 years ago. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I did get your back. And I got your back.
17, we heard this crowd.
Oh, let's see what nice.
What the Trump people are doing is vice signaling. They have to show what
Reduced
tough
to an
guys they
iPhone
are.
now.
They arrested someone.
Oh, yeah, it's blocking the street this week.
We are all immigrants.
I like that one.
Stop Trump! Stop Trump! You can yell. Stop Trump! Join in. The people united will never be defeated.
All this is over. All this is over. One of the first things they need to do is get
Yeah, I don't know what happened. They're just very. I don't know. Oh, wait, no, wait. I think we have to wait for the.
I would wait for the arrow.
Yeah.
Hey, chill your jets there, hot rod.
Wow.
I like that.
Yes. Yeah. Good side.
All right, we can
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
You okay, Mike?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks. Get a running start.
What was that?
I'm embarrassed I didn't get a running start, because then I could have handled my business better. I kind of just slipped off and he pulled away and I fell. Live, you
So
know?
what'd you say?
The two guys that were in the street, we don't know who they were, but they're real life agitators.
Well, and I.
Live, you
So
know?
what'd you say?
The two guys that were in the street, we don't know who they were, but they're real life agitators.
Well, and I. What did you say, Mike?
I said, I think the proudest moment was the 1,000 or so people that were here cheered and thanked the sheriffs when they took the two agitators away. I mean, that was Carpinteria.
Even though they were even though, how would you describe these people? What are
Well,
they?
these people were just trying to stir the pot rather than peacefully protest,
Right.
stopping traffic. Little old ladies were trying to just get to the store, and they're blocking their cars, you know, sitting down on the street.
What do you think, John?
Hey, Larry,
What are you doing?
I'm getting ready to vote again.
How are you going to vote?
I'm going to vote for no king.
Okay, good. That's good.
We are all
$10 drinks or something. Pretend someone was.
Nice. And yours up there. Okay, good.
That's great.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Pueblo unido jamás será vencido. 10 a.m. No Kings Parade right here, Carp. Corner of Linden and Carp Ave. Come out. You do a way better job than me. Keep this shit alive. We're the last one standing today. Come on. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Racism comes in many forms, not just kidnapping our children. How about our working class struggle? Did you tip your needle? What about the people raising your children? How about the people cleaning your toilets? Did you say hello to them this morning? Or did you kidnap your children? El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. We're not going to put up with racism in Carpinteria. Trumpers, get the fuck out. ICE, get the fuck out. Police, get the fuck out. Polimigra, get the fuck out. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. Oh my God, there they are. The Trumpers are here. Look, that's what racism looks like. Look at racism. This is it. The Trumpers are here. They have a Tesla. Look at these Trumpers. Oh my God. You don't like children. How many children you kidnapped today? You love ICE.
We love
ICE? Trump, right?
Educate yourself.
You love Trump. You love to kidnap people.
You're a pedophile. You're
I'm a pedophile. Oh, wow. That's. Ooh, get that license
I
plate.
feel
Get
like
that license
kicking
plate.
your
Get that
car
license
out,
plate. Get that license
asshole.
plate. Did you get that license plate? Woo!
That was crazy.
Wow.
So this was on the corner right next door to where I live. That's the end of my driveway there. My neighbors were out there watching this rude couple, and then they drove up to them, and my neighbors were just looking at them, and they yelled at my neighbors, "Don't look so innocent." And my neighbors are Latino, but they were an asshole couple, if I may say so.
You are a racist. Accept it. You're a racist. Deal with it. You're abducting our children. You're abducting our children. Stop abducting our children because they're brown. We are indigenous of this land. We are the natives of this hemisphere. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up, Native people. Wake up, Latinos. We're the Native people here. We're the indigenous of this hemisphere. There is nothing to be afraid of. Only fear itself. Only fear and division is what we can be afraid of because we outnumber them. We outnumber these races. And let me tell you, we do a lot more than that.
Why are you being...
El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. If you voted Trump, you're a racist. Accept it. If you voted Trump, you are a racist. Accept it. Change your fucking vote. You don't want to be a racist? Change your vote. Don't vote Trump. Don't vote for these racists. Don't vote for the abduction of children. They're taking children from schools. They're taking people from construction sites. This is racism. They're not taking white Europeans. They're taking brown Mexicans. Be honest with yourselves. If you voted Trump, you're a racist. Accept it. Now change. 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 Change your vote. Change your heart.
Hey, Fred, I think...
How you doing, Larry?
Oh, there's Fred.
Yep.
Hey, Fred.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining me on this call.
Sure.
So I talked with Osiris Castaneda, and he had a couple of incidents, one Friday night and then one Saturday at No Kings. But what did you observe?
Well, what I saw was, and I was over by Moon Cafe at that point talking to some of our neighbors. I was there as part of the protest, but talking to some neighbors, and all of a sudden this guy ran out in the middle of the street with a bullhorn and started yelling through the bullhorn. I couldn't figure out at the start whether he was with the protesters whether he was agitating, trying to cause trouble or whatever. But what ended up happening was everybody on all four corners starts saying, get out of the street. You're causing trouble. That's not our intent. We're here to peacefully protest, and you're causing trouble. And they kept getting on him about that, but he continued to be out there to the point that I think it was Mike Damron ran out and tried to pull him off of the street, and he kind of pushed Mike to the ground. And then he just kept right on with the bullhorn, just yelling into the bullhorn. And even then, I couldn't make a whole lot of sense about what he was saying. But about then, I saw several people pick up the phone, probably calling the sheriff, would be my guess, because within 2 or 3 minutes, less than that maybe, 3 squad cars kind of triangulated right at that point, our lieutenant being in one of the squad cars. And I thought they handled the situation beautifully. There was no trouble. They took the guy, they handcuffed him, they put him in the car, and they drove away. They dispersed and let us continue our protest. But I never did figure out whether this person was cheering us on and just trying to rile everybody up, or whether he was somebody agitating, trying to get something physical going on just for a combination of notoriety and frustration on his part for whatever reason. I never did figure that out, but that's kind of what I saw.
Nice, Fred. There were actually 2 people that were agitating.
There were.
Yeah. The bigger of the 2 was the guy Mike Dameron tried to pull over. His name was actually, I believe, Brandon Morris, and the other guy, a Hispanic man, Osiris Castaneda, a friend of mine who I've seen around town often. And I talked to Osiris about it, and he felt he was within his rights of, I guess he would maybe call it civil disobedience, and he wanted to close down the intersection. What are your thoughts?
I don't think in that situation, I don't think the intersection necessarily need to be closed down, because I think a lot of the people on all four corners felt that the more people they interacted with, as have in other smaller protests in the past, the more people that were using that intersection in their cars or walking through it that listened to what we were all trying to say is and talk about was our frustration with what's going on with this current administration. So I really myself was glad they didn't shut down the intersection. And you're right, the second younger man, the Hispanic man of the 2, I remember seeing him afterwards drive up with, I guess, some other people in his car. And they drove up because somebody had taken possession of the bullhorn. And they drove up, and a young woman, I believe it was a young woman, had the bullhorn, or a young man, I forget. But anyway, this person then handed the bullhorn to them in, I guess that was Osiris's car. They handed it to Osiris, who was sitting in the passenger seat. So evidently, as far as I could figure, the lieutenant, after they removed these 2 fellas from the intersection, they then took them maybe to City Hall or somewhere and released them. That would be my guess. I know for sure, I know Osiris was released because I saw him come and get the bullhorn. About the other fella that actually was physically confrontational with Mike Dameron, I have no idea what happened to him. I just know that all of a sudden he's in the middle of it, and I guess it was Osiris kind of joined him, and I kind of thought, maybe they're trying to agitate for whatever reason. But that being said, they both disappeared when they were put in the sheriff's cars, and then Osiris showed up a few minutes later to get the bullhorn. But it was just, their being there was unnecessary. I think we made our point there, but it was made peacefully. And I think the sheriffs were fine as long as we didn't impede traffic, either pedestrian or vehicle traffic, and we didn't. I thought it was a very well done protest for what it was, and I was very proud of all the people that were there.
I agree, Fred. Can you change this angle of the camera slightly so you're in the middle of the frame? The other way. Yeah.
That way.
Yeah, right there. Good.
That better?
Yeah. And here's a couple more questions, if I may. Well, it was for me, and probably you too, it was odd because we were all on the same side, and it was a little hard to know where he was coming from, the agitators. Would you agree?
I absolutely. I could not tell from what he was yelling in the bullhorn and what the other person was yelling. I couldn't tell whether they were for what the administration is doing or against what the administration was doing, other than the fact that one of the two, and I guess that was Osiris, was obviously Latino Hispanic. So it would have surprised me if he would have been for what the administration is currently doing, but you never know. But it definitely looked like they couldn't put together a way of expressing themselves without getting in the middle of the street and just causing a ruckus, almost like they wanted to see something physical happen.
What happened the night, I live one door from the corner.
Right.
And the night before Friday night, Osiris was out there ranting on the street corner, kind of rapping like a rapper about how Trump's bad and we don't want kings and so forth. But it was in kind of more graphic language and very forceful. And he almost sounded like a crazy man. It's hard to know what his point was. But the point of the story I wanted to tell was he did make it clear he was anti-Trump, and a number of pro-Trump people drove by and yelled at him. And just as I came out with my camera to get some video shots of Osiris, this one car pulled up in a Tesla, and in their car, this couple had an argument with Osiris, pro and con Trump or no kings or whatever. And at the very end of it, the Tesla driver yelled out a kind of a low blow epithet. I'm not even sure I'm going to repeat it. And in fact, Osiris asked me not to repeat it. And they took off. But when they took off, they only drove one building because they stopped at the end of my driveway right next door. And my front neighbors, a Hispanic family I rent to, were out watching the commotion. And Amelia Herrera, a wonderful Hispanic lady, citizen, was just kind of staring. And this car pulled up to her and said, "Hey, don't look so innocent. I'm going to call ICE on you." And then they just sped off. So that was an odd. So he was riling up Trump supporters.
Oh yeah, and it seems to me like probably what Osiris was doing was continuing to respond to that, possibly what happened Friday, and just now with all the people around, he was just continuing to respond to that. But as far as the other fellow, I never did figure out, other than I would have guessed that they probably wouldn't have been next to each other and gotten along given that. But I never understood what he was doing in the middle of the street. Osiris, at least, after hearing what you said, at least I know where he was coming from. But during the exchange with those two and the rest of the crowd, I didn't have really an idea.
Well, and another point is that a few years back during the George Floyd protests, there was a protest at the corner. Were you there for that?
There for that.
And there seemed to be a couple of Hispanic ladies, one lady in particular that was leading it, and she was successful in closing down the intersection. We all seemed to be happy closing it down then, but I guess it was a different time and a different situation. What's your thought?
I thought it was a different situation. I think the size of this, because I can't remember anything, at least on the street corner there, that's ever been as large as this was, at least in the years I've lived here. So I thought that the people there on all four corners realized that, whether they consciously thought about it or not, that as long as it continued to be an open intersection, they had sort of the bully pulpit to get their feelings out and have people passing by pay attention to that. Whereas if it's closed, then it's all four corners kind of all agreeing with each other.
Yeah.
Where just catching passerbys, whether be they pro, con, or whatever, at least hearing their distress.
If I could get Osiris on a Zoom call, would you be comfortable being on another Zoom call and discussing this with him? Or if that, maybe I'd ask if he ever offers to be on one, maybe I'll ask you and you can tell me if you're comfortable or not, if that's okay.
I would be interested to talk to him, of course, but I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I think probably he's got his feelings and stuff like that. And I think, I don't know, maybe he thinks that I don't know how he feels. I would suppose if I were in his shoes, I would feel a little distressed. It looked like the crowd turned on me. But the reality is, I think most of the crowd didn't realize what it was he was trying to do.
I think it was also a matter of in Los Angeles, there was a lot of demonstrations and a few people got violent, and then Trump sent in the National Guard and used that as an excuse. So we didn't want to do anything violent and unlawful, like close down the intersection, I guess.
Right. I think that's also part of it, because once you close down the intersection, that's going to require a continued presence of law enforcement. And a continued presence of law enforcement, of course, is going to bring out the bigger guns, if you want to call it that. And so I'm sure that was in the mind of a lot of people who were there protesting, that they don't want this to become a kind of a riot. They didn't. They just wanted to express their frustration with what the administration is doing. And anybody who got in the middle of that and started raising the kind of trouble that would bring the sheriffs was not a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you for that, Fred. Another time, if you're good for it, I'd like to arrange a different interview with you about your time in Carp and on the city council and your thoughts about the different issues, if that's okay.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm doing this thing called Everyone Has a Story. I'm doing it through Rotary. Oh, I believe your wife said that she got an email. Lisa said she got an email from CVA or Cart Beautiful about it. And
Cart Beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, and if she could, I'd appreciate if she could forward that to me. I'm just curious what they sent out about it. But as long as I have you on the screen here, can I ask you a couple of other questions and see if you have any answers off the top of your head? Well, one is, what lessons have you learned in life that you'd like to pass on to others? Any thoughts on that?
For me, one of my hardest things to learn over my years is patience. And I think being on city council helped me become a little more patient than I probably was before. Things take time, and your immediate frustration's not going to do anything other than churn up your own stomach and your own brain. So hopefully patience, and maybe that.
Fred, I think that's a good one, but particularly because in civic matters, things don't change quickly. It's a process, and it's a fair, I guess, democratic process, but you can't have expectations of change quickly, huh?
No, I don't believe any change when it comes to any city policy whatsoever. Nothing happens overnight. There's too many I's to dot, too many T's to cross, too many things that are going on that surround an individual issue to just, on the spur of the moment, say yes, this, or no, this. So it does require patience and time to consider all the possibilities.
Nice. And the other question, somewhat related, is do you have any advice to young people how to be happy in life or get ahead in life?
Oh gosh, I would say, if you have a place you want to get to, um, follow your heart. Not everybody is gonna be a multimillionaire. Not everybody is gonna own a palace. Um, Make your goals realistic, but don't lose sight of those goals. Just it might take longer than you expected it to, but if there's something that truly is important to you, follow that. Follow that and stay with it, because those are the things that you're going to always feel. And if you follow them and continue to pursue whatever it is you're after, you just can't walk away from that, because it's going to bother you for probably the rest of your life if you do.
Thank you, Fred. Those are good thoughts. Well, and can I use your thoughts for everyone has a story on what we discussed about today?
Oh, sure.
Okay, well, thank you very much. And I'm going to arrange some other time to get more, to goose your brain more.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks, Fred, and thanks, Lisa. And I'll be back in touch.
Sounds great. Thank you, Larry. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.